I'm joined by Edward Tracy, CEO of Hard Rock Asia. Edward, can you give me a very simple explanation of the legislation that's being proposed?
Sure. I can tell you what we know for certain is that a bill was passed last December which legalizes a casino within the context of an integrated resort. What we don't know essentially is everything else. For example, we don't know the tax rate, whether or not we'll be required to have a Japanese partner, or even the locations. So there's lots of work to be done, and that's happening in this legislative session, and we hope to have an update by mid-year, is the speculation.
Why do you think the Japanese people are so divided over this issue?
Our research tells us when you start with an understanding that there really is no literal translation of integrated resort in Japanese. For example, if you say integrated resort, they think casino only. And I think that carries with it some connotations that refer back to the pachinko, social problems, and so on and so forth. It doesn't get to the heart of the difference between a big box gambling house and an integrated resort. So our job is really to help educate the public right now, and that's what we spend a lot of our time doing.
And how important could integrated resorts be as a tourism driver in Japan?
I think there's a couple of niches that we can fill that aren't being filled currently. I'll start by saying their tourism product is excellent. They have one of the most amazing increases in tourism, especially from mainland China over the last 4 or 5 years. But the MICE business in particular is not as strong as it should be, and that's a result of, for example, real estate being scarce in metropolitan areas and very expensive when it is available. And so having an integrated resort where a meeting planner can check every box for food, beverage, entertainment, retail, gaming, hotels in different brands is not really addressed in any meaningful way in the major markets or in the regional markets.
And Japan's importance as opening up frontiers in Asia?
Well, I think there's a fair amount of gaming already, and there's a fair amount of integrated resorts. Having spent 5 years in Macau, I can tell you it's robust, but the demand is phenomenal. For example, the recent data out of China is that Macau really only penetrates the mainland China market to the extent of, let's call it less than 5% of 1,300,000,000 people in China. I think that opportunity exists in Japan. I think the Chinese want to go there. It's such a unique culture and so interesting. There's so much to do, and the Chinese travelers tend to take very long vacations compared to Westerners. So I think it's an important marker in anybody's strategy who wants to develop a footprint in Asia.